Timmy and T, yeah, we raising the bar. Every sip's an adventure, we shooting for stars. Cut those wheels, take the scene, now we gliding in style. From the vineyards to the lounge, we redefining the mile. 4092 the base, where the legends reside. Mixing vibes, not just drinks, it's the culture we provide. Tuesday libations, Wednesday we scrutinize. Catch the flavor, feel the energy, we on the rise. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real. Yeah. Have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Event Yours of Spirits, and welcome to Spirit Scrutiny. We're in the month of March. It's the second week of March already, y'all. And today we will be tasting and reviewing Brough Brothers bourbon whiskey. And let me tell you a little bit about them. Now, they were the first African American owned distillery in Kentucky. Okay, so let me give you some information that I have here. So they're founded by two brothers, Victor Bryson and Christian Yarborough, with Victor, Bryson, and Christian Yarborough. So there's three brothers, excuse me. Victor being the CEO. Okay. Basically, it started in Louisville on the West End. So for those of you from Louisville, Kentucky, y'all know where the West End is, or whatever. And basically, they just learned a lot about hard work and dedication, because guess what? They also had another business. So this company, their bourbon company, started about a decade ago. So you're talking about 10 years. With their import-export business, okay, which was actually under Victor's LLC, Victor Global LLC. And they basically made the first bourbon blend to include a crisp, fruity pear and green apple flavor. So I am very anxious to try this. I'm not much of a sweets person, but something tells me that bourbon can't get but too sweet. But I'm hoping it's not too sweet for my palate. But basically, based on just those notes alone, it sounds like it would be crisp and clean and something very easy to drink, especially neat or on the rocks. So we're gonna find out. But before we do, let me tell you what they say a little bit about the actual bottle here. So basically, the mash bill, which some companies don't have the mash bill available, meaning how much percentage is corn and how much is, what all the ingredients are. But this is basically 75% corn, 4% malted barley, and 21% rye. The alcohol content is 41%. So you're talking about 82 proof. So it's a little, little spice. It's going to be a little spicy. Color, as you can see, is very golden honey. It's very yellow. It's not a golden amber. It's very yellow. So it's very light. So my guess is this is not aged long. It's probably aged for the minimum of a bourbon. I'm used to a darker bourbon, so I'm very curious to see what this tastes like. Shout out to Sipping with Meat and I, Anwar and Meat, for actually telling me about Brough Brothers. So when I saw it, I picked it up. I had to get it and said, okay, well, let me go ahead and see what it tastes like. Okay. As you can see, it's open, and it's open because one of my friends decided she wanted to taste a little bit. So just so you know, but I have not tasted it. So this would be my first tasting of Brough Brothers. So we're going to get into it. But what this is telling me is I'm supposed to taste, it's a medium body, and I'm supposed to taste notes of green apple, pear, nutmeg, and ginger. And I'm supposed to smell notes of red roses, apples, and nutmeg. So I'm supposed to smell some flowers, some nuts, and some fruit. And I'm supposed to taste some fruit and some nuts and a little herbaceous ginger, basically. So they said that the finish is supposed to be smooth with hints of baking spices, ginger, and nutmeg. So something tells me this is going to tingle my nose a little bit, but let's go on and get into this and see what it tastes like, shall we? All right. All right. So it's yellow, definitely yellow. It's not golden, it's just yellow. Ooh, they were right about this. They said I'm supposed to smell red roses, apples, and nutmeg. Do I smell red roses? Yes, I do. Mm. Apples and nutmeg. They was right on point with this one. I'm checking to see if I smell something else. It smells so good. I just want to taste it. Hold on. We just smelling now. Hold on. They were right on point with this one. Oh yeah. Very apple forward. Green apple, to be specific. Well, we just go ahead and taste this because I can't wait because the smell is just too good. They said it's supposed to be smooth. It is and is. They said I'm supposed to have hints of baking spices. They right on point with this. I don't know who wrote these notes, but they was right on point with this. It's giving me I can't describe the damn thing. Yes, I do smell the nut. I do taste the nutmeg and is. I do taste the ginger and do. Um, but the baking spices, I know these flavors, but I can't remember the name of them. Hold on. Oh, it's so good too. Um, this is good, y'all. That's probably why I'm distracted on doggone baking spices. So when I think of what do you think when you think of baking spices? What comes to your mind, right? Now they already said nutmeg and ginger, right? So what other baking spices do you think of? Put it in the comments because I'm a little lost. And these flavors are very familiar to me, but I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. But it's like I've tasted this in a cake. I've tasted this, in certain desserts. I just can't make out what they are. Where's Sinead when you need her? Where the cooks? Famous, where you at? I need you to taste this. Shanae, I need you to taste this and tell me what the hell I'm tasting because this is good. This is good. Good. I can't think of it. It's smooth. When I say, I have to say this is one of the first descriptions that described the aroma, your nose, and your taste, your palate perfectly. I just can't make up what the hell bacon spices is. Bacon spices are. What are they? And they're all familiar. I just can't think of it. But anyway, at the end of the day, I know y'all not worried about that. Y'all just want to know, look, What is it? Give y'all a little background history. Go ahead and let y'all know what it tastes like, what the bottle look like. Oh, and the cost of this. I believe this was, what did I spend for this? Hold on, let me get it because I got it a while ago. It's just that I'm just now reviewing it. But let me see what I paid for this. Let me because I got this from one of my favorite liquor stores. And I don't remember spending much. So it had to be in the 30s. Yes, it was $33 to be exact. $32.99 was this bottle right here. So now I was just looking on there. And the reason why I remember the 30 something, because I remember it was somewhere in there. I just couldn't remember whether it was in the lower of the 30s or the higher of the 30s. But you may also find some places that will sell this for as high as $49, just so you know. But you can get it for as low as $32.99. But this is nice. This Brough Brothers, this is off the chain. This is good. This actually delivered what it was. It gave what it was supposed to give. It gave what it said, and it performed in person. So I just got to tell you, is this something I would keep on my bar? Yes, it would be. And I would say that this would be good neat. This would be good over some ice. I don't know if I would need to mix it in with a cocktail, but if I did, maybe a whiskey sour, something light like that, nothing heavy. Like you wouldn't put this in an old fashioned or Manhattan. That's not what you do with this one. You put more of the aged ones in those type drinks. But this one I would put like in a whiskey sour or some type of whiskey cocktail that's the mix where the aging doesn't matter because it is lighter and it's not aged as long, but it is very, yeah, it has a lot of fruit. It's very fruit forward. So you got to understand it's that type of cocktail. Maybe like in a, I don't know, like in a sidecar, if you don't have cognac or whatever, you would use this one. I would see this in one of those. But other than that, Brough Brothers, you did not disappoint, boo. You didn't disappoint. Thank you, Sipping with Me and I, for recommending this. I found it, I saw it, I bought it, I tasted it, and I liked it. So this will definitely be something that I will keep on my bar. And I think that this is a good transition bourbon for those who don't drink whiskey or bourbon. I think this would be a good transition liquor for them. So for those who don't really drink bourbon or whiskey and you're looking to transition into it, I think this would be a good one for you. This is a good transition one because it's not too much on the bourbon whiskey side, but it's also, it has its own flavor that I think will help you to introduce some of those whiskey and bourbon flavor notes to you. So when you do taste another whiskey or bourbon, you're more likely to say, okay, this is good. So I definitely would recommend keep on the bar. I definitely like this. And speaking of like, if you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe and share if you liked it. And I will catch you next Wednesday on Spirit Scrutiny. We will be reviewing the lineup of Basil Hayden liquor. No, is it whiskey or bourbon? I gotta check. But because there's only two of them that I like, and I can't remember whether Basil Hayden is a bourbon or a whiskey. But anyway, those of you who know about Basil Hayden or heard about Basil Hayden, just tune in next Wednesday. Not a problem. Next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Tune in. Basil Hayden. I'm gonna have the Basil Hayden bourbon. It's bourbon whiskey, Basil Hayden dark rye whiskey, Basil Hayden wine cask whiskey, and Basil Hayden toasted whiskey. So we'll be reviewing that next week. And hopefully I will see you there. You all have a good evening and see you next week. Bye.
For the real ones, have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real ones. For the real ones. For the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real ones. real. For the real ones. For the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Have a toast for the real. Have a toast for the real.